We set flowers on them, we guard their sacredness, we even fight to be in them. Getting a good plot or the most peaceful spot, yes, we are talking about cemeteries and their history. Joining us today this Halloween is our favorite historian, Raffi Andonian. Raffi, thanks for joining me today.
Of course, a great time to be here.
It's
spooky
a
Halloween,
spooky
great time to talk cemeteries.
And I like your bow tie today. It's
Big
a bow tie
statement, right?
Tuesday. We'll take it. We'll take it.
All Halloween colors,
I
orange,
love it.
black, and purple.
You're looking good. And you know the Halloween colors. You really kind of know a lot of history. And let's talk about some of the spooky history of the dead with the development of national cemeteries and our local cemeteries. How did we first get our national cemetery?
You'd be amazed. The first national cemetery, it seems like it's in the wrong country. From the U.S., it was in Mexico City.
Huh? Mexico DF?
Believe it or not. And the reason for that is the Mexican-American War in the 1840s. And American, obviously Mexican peoples fighting U.S. American people. And American dead were not buried with Catholics of Mexico. Most of the Americans were Protestant. So a couple of years after the war in 1850, Congress went and purchased a few acres in Mexico City and then reinterred about 750 U.S. soldiers in there. That's how you have the first national cemetery.
Who knew?
That's right. That's
well,
right.
I do now, and so does everybody else at home watching. I mean, we talked about why this system was established, but why did it continue?
Yeah, well, it grows from there into a system, right? So in the Civil War, which was shortly after that, in 1861 to 65, so very shortly after the Mexican War and the first national cemetery, but you have this mass death. It's not just a few hundred in each battle anymore. Now it's thousands and thousands. Over the course of 4 years, you have almost 700,000 people that die as a result of the Civil War, which is almost as much as all of the other American wars combined, to give you an idea of scale and context. A lot of the cemeteries were hasty, unidentified, so government stepped in and said, we need to do something about this. Authorize the president to buy land. It kind of morphed over time, but partway through the war, you have 12 cemeteries already established, national cemeteries, one of which is at Gettysburg, where I used to work.
Okay,
and then,
we'll take it.
And then by the end of the war, you have 27 cemeteries that are established. And then after that, within a few years after the Civil War, you have 73 national cemeteries. So it really blows up in the Civil War period and shortly thereafter, one of which is locally Jefferson Barracks, which is a national cemetery. That's part of those 73 in the immediate aftermath of the Civil War, and it all happens because of the mass death. Now, one more thing I'll point out with that is this pen that I brought. This pen is made from the wood of the witness tree. That means the tree witness. Abraham Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address at the dedication of the Gettysburg National Cemetery just months after the battle.
I don't even want to touch that
You
pin.
can touch it.
I can touch it?
Very special.
Oh my gosh.
When I used to work there, lightning hit that tree and the limb fell off. And because I worked there, I was able to get access to the wood, and someone made a pen from that tree. So that's a very tangible way you can connect to national cemeteries and what Lincoln talked about, the last full measure of devotion that was given by the men that are buried in national cemeteries.
Now that is pretty cool. This is why we love having you on, Raffi. You're dropping so many gems. Now we talked about these national cemeteries. What about our local cemeteries?
Locally, St. Louis, of course, being a rich historical city. So what you have is a couple of cemeteries that are great examples of what's called the rural cemetery movement. A great example of that is Bellefontaine Cemetery. What the rural cemetery movement is in the mid-19th century, so we're talking about 1840s, 50s, 1860s, what happens is cities are blowing up, St. Louis including in the mid-late 19th century blowing up, so they don't want to use the traditional spaces of graveyards and family plots and churches. There's density that's required. So they move them out of the city core a little bit, but still keep it in the city, and they make them into park-like, beautiful, structures, landscapes, water features like you've been seeing on the images. And that made it so that people would go and enjoy a day away from the city, a day at the park, spend a day with their dead family members. You would go and spend some time there. And as a result, also, that changes the notions of death from being grotesque to being something that was romanticized. Another example of that is Calvary Cemetery. That's a Catholic cemetery right next to Bellefontaine Cemetery. And we have some huge notables that are buried right here in St. Louis. I'll give you a few quick ones.
Yeah, come on.
Well, in Bellefontaine, you got William Clark. You know Lewis and Clark?
Wow.
He's buried there.
Okay.
You also have a few other people in Bellefontaine, for example. Well, let me go to Calvary right now.
Okay,
Calvary
let's do it.
has Dred Scott, St. Louis lawsuit that went to the Supreme Court for civil rights in the era of slavery unsuccessfully. You also have William Tecumseh Sherman, the Civil War general. You know, he was talking about the March to the Sea. How about Tennessee Williams, the guy who wrote The Glass Menagerie? That's right.
What?
You have all kinds of people that are buried in Bellefontaine and in Calvary. Another one going back to Bellefontaine is Ellis Wainwright. Wainwright Building in downtown St. Louis is named after him, and that is the first steel skyscraper in the world. So right here in St. Louis, a lot of notables.
So much history, and perfect just in time for Halloween and spooky season. So thanks for dropping some of those gems in St. Louis. If you're interested in catching Raffi, all of his handles are right there on your screen.